Mike Scott of Buxton moved to Hatteras Island in 1970. In an interview with Susan West, Mike talks about moving to the island, going to school here, and about surfing.
I spent a fair amount of the summer of '69 here, not working, just I'd saved up a little bit of money. You could live pretty cheap in the campground. And then the summer of 1970, I came right after my sister graduated from high school. I came June 4th in 1970. And I never planned to stay, and I might not, but I'm still here.
Okay.
I had a friend who I went to school with in Virginia who had family in Rodanthe. So I came to Rodanthe and I worked in a restaurant. I washed dishes.
Do you remember how much you got paid?
Gee, probably 50 cents an hour or something. It wasn't much. 60 cents an hour, not much.
Okay.
But sufficient to get by, and I rented a little bedroom. I had a little shared efficiency. I look back, I don't know how I did it, but I got by. My buddies in Rodanthe there, Irvin Midget and Asa Gray and Gary O'Neill, they said, don't go back, stay here, go to school here. Of course, that sounded great to me. And believe it or not, Melly Edwards took me to Buxton, signed me up for school, and that's what I did.
Wait, the postmaster's
wife, the postmaster's wife.
So did you stay living in your little apartment?
I stayed there until I could endure that bus ride no more. The bus would only go about 40 miles an hour, and it was a long ride, and that cut into my surfing time or working time.
Right.
And then a friend from Virginia, who you may know, Rob Fincham, he got wind of what I was doing, and he said, I got to do that too. And he moved down and signed up for school. And he lived in Rodanthe, he rented a room, same place I did, for about 2 weeks. He said, man, we got to do something. This bus ride's killing us. So now I had an ally, and we found a house in Buxton to rent, and we moved to Buxton.
And then how did you pay for it?
I just worked, lived frugal, ate a lot of cream of wheat and oatmeal, and I don't know how I survived. I don't know how I did it. But yeah, I don't think I ever had more than enough money to last for 3 or 4 days, but I always had enough to get by.
Was the reason that you decided to stay here, was it primarily surfing?
Well, when I moved from Florida to Virginia, I loved it in Florida. I had a great situation there. It's kind of rural where we lived, and I just love Florida. We moved to Virginia in February, probably during a particularly cold time. I didn't know cold weather. I thought it was inhumane what we had to do. Of course, that's ridiculous. People live in a lot colder areas than that. So, yeah, I came here to go surfing. I was just young and dumb, and all I wanted to do was surf. But I think I just liked it better here.
How did you find a house to rent?
Grapevine. You know, I was going to school, so I had a little bit of info there. Actually, the house belonged to Noe Price in Avon. The house was in Buxton, about a quarter mile from the school. It was an old house. It was empty. They were happy to have somebody in it. Didn't have suitable heat, really. Didn't have a water heater. It was pretty primitive. But it didn't leak when it rained inside. We did manage to get one stove going. Yeah, young and dumb, don't know no better. I mean, I came from a stable home. Al Burris was our surfing buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, and Grant Jeanette.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all really into it. And to a lesser extent, Gary Bowers, too.
Okay.
And then in time, Gary's younger brothers, too. But Dal and Don, we spent a lot of time together, on land and in the water. Yeah.
So did you have interaction with these folks, with their families?
Yes, especially Dal's, his poor mother.
Millie?
She kept us alive. Fed us. And,
she did?
Yeah. Tell you something else with that family. It was a great pit stop. Do you remember where they used to live right there?
Right.
Oh, so nice. We would leave our surfboards there. We'd just stash them. I mean, it was a bicycle for us. I mean, the bicycle was the mode of transportation. Is really all we needed. We marvel at how we survived because I didn't have much time to work. I did make money working in the school. There was a program for underprivileged people. I don't know what you called it, but anyway. I did janitorial work at the school, during school, and actually had a summer job there too. But in the summer, there's plenty of work anywhere you wanted to go. We were living pretty frugal, so no car, no gas, no insurance, no telephone, no TV.
Right.
Yeah, so if I could get a couple 5 hours a week to work, I had money to spare. But anyway, back to Millie and Calvin. They're just such good people to us, and the whole Burris family was into surfing. And another thing we would do occasionally, if we knew the surf was going to be good the next day, we'd just stick the boards in the bushes right there behind the motels. That's primarily where we surf, because the lighthouse area tend to be a little crowded. And most folks, only local folks, surf behind the motels, behind the cabins, they used to say. We're going surfing behind the cabins.
Okay.
Because I guess originally Edgar Hooper's family, his mother and father, and Carol Dillon and her sister, they all built what were considered cabins.